that's the territory of back in the day when it was prime time interviews and when Oprah had the show where it was the real hot seat where a lot of information would be revealed by celebrities. And it's like that gap has been missing, you know, from interviews as of late. Like, you know, it ain't really like nobody that go on.
Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay, has recently become a platform for celebrities to air their grievances, and Oprah Winfrey has been a frequent target. Both Katt Williams and Mo'Nique have appeared on the show, where they made significant allegations against the media mogul. Katt Williams, in his episode, criticized various industry figures, though his comments about Oprah were more indirect. He suggested that powerful people in Hollywood, like Oprah, have contributed to the industry's problematic dynamics.
Like they would with a Montel or Arsenio Hall or Oprah. And I always thought what Shannon Sharpe is doing right now is what I expected from Charlemagne the God.
Mo'Nique's appearance was more direct and scathing. She accused Oprah of betraying her by inviting her estranged family on her show without her consent, which led to public scrutiny and strained relationships.
Well, I told the truth. And what happens is we're now in a society that the truth is offensive. Mm-hmm. See, I too have been the help. Mm-hmm. And the very man Whoopi Goldberg told me to get rid of, which is my husband and my manager, he said, Mama, you've got to stop being the help. Because 100 years from now, when your image is on that screen, somebody else's family benefits from that, not mine. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't saying it to do a dig. I wasn't saying it to spill no tea. I'm 51 years old. I'm too damn old to be digging and shading. And I'm just saying the truth. When I have a woman that says to me on national TV, I could have schooled you. Well, you wanted to school me on how I was supposed to work for free. I simply don't want that type of education. That's the education you're fine with. That's not the education I want, and that's not the education I want to pass down to my little sisters, saying, you just got to do it. Let me school you. If they're not paying you, baby, that's called slavery.
Mo'Nique also reiterated her long-standing claims that Oprah, along with Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels, blackballed her in Hollywood, spreading rumors that she was difficult to work with.
I want y'all to understand something about me. When I have communicated something wrong, I'm a bitch who's gonna say, I'm sorry. I'm a bitch who's gonna own what the fuck I said. I'm a bitch who's gonna walk in what the fuck I said. And I owe two motherfuckers an apology because I communicated some shit wrong to them some years ago. Tyler Perry said I have to give him and Oprah Winfrey a public apology. And I'm gonna give it right now tonight in front of you niggas in Albany, New York. Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, I wanna apologize for telling y'all to suck my dick.
Oprah Winfrey has faced criticism over the years for her interviewing style, which some have seen as intrusive or insensitive. One notable example is her 1993 interview with Michael Jackson. During this interview, Oprah asked Jackson several personal and probing questions, including if he was a virgin, which left him visibly uncomfortable and embarrassed.
I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
So
I'm a gentleman.
So, okay, I would interpret that to mean that means that you believe that a lady is a lady, and therefore...
That's something that's private. I mean, you know, shouldn't be spoken about openly. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but, you know, to me that's very personal.
So you're not going to answer it?
I'm embarrassed.
So you're not going to answer it?
This style wasn't limited to Michael Jackson. Oprah has sometimes been known to ask tough and personal questions that can put her guests in awkward positions. Dave Chappelle's appearance on Oprah's show was also so critical. During this interview, Chappelle discussed the intense pressure and stress he experienced, which led him to walk away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When
you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah.
And it always happens around the time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress.
For instance, her interviews often delve deeply into her guests' personal lives and struggles, sometimes leading to moments that some viewers and critics have found to be uncomfortable or disrespectful.
Hey y'all, I hope that Tyler and Oprah take it easy on my girl Mo'Nique. She just telling her truth. Take it easy on Mo'Nique. Y'all reach out to her, apologize.
Oprah Winfrey has faced criticism for asking personal and potentially embarrassing questions during interviews. A notable example is her 2004 interview with Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, where she asked the teenage twins about their clothing sizes amid rumors of Mary-Kate's eating disorder. The question made both sisters visibly uncomfortable and has been widely criticized as inappropriate and insensitive, especially given the context of Mary-Kate's struggles with an eating disorder.
Rumors recently surfaced has really upset you, right? You know, the one about eating.
Yeah, you know, people are gonna write what they wanna write. We try not to read the good or the bad because it just kind of comes with the territory. You know, either you're too fat, you're too skinny, and people are just gonna write what they
What size
think.
are you, by the way?
Size?
Yeah, I always like
I'm
to
really
know.
short.
You're not sure?
Girls, and
Oh,
you know.
that's so interesting. That is so interesting. I'm like obsessed with size, and you're like, I really don't know.
Well, if we were obsessed with our size, you know, it'd be, I don't know, a different.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, legally we get the name.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you going to celebrate your 18th birthday besides becoming presidents of your company?
I think just like a nice dinner with our friends, and it's a hectic time. I mean, it's graduation a week before, so there'll be all the graduation parties, and we're just going to be with our friends.
Can you be normal with all of your friends and people at school?
Yeah, of course, and we have really, you know, good people in our lives.
Oprah Winfrey's Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa has been embroiled in controversy over the years and was allegedly involved in child trafficking.
So Oprah flew down on her jet and she built the school. $50 million she spent. Most expensive school in Africa. Most expensive anything, in fact. $50 million. That's what she spent. It's got state-of-the-art computers, state-of-the-art facilities and cars and all this equipment. State-of-the-art everything. Well, not everything. Teachers, not so much. Shame. A lot of scandals going down at that school. This wasn't Brad Pitt she was talking to, you know? She came in, she was like, "You're not gonna spank these kids, are you?" And the headmaster was like, "No, never. Never. No, we can never spank a child, never." She was like, "Okay then, bye-bye." She went on her plane, back to America. The principal was there. "Hi, Oprah. Yeah, who right then? No, never. Us spanking a child, never. We beat them."
The school did face significant issues, particularly a scandal in 2007 involving a dorm matron accused of physically mistreating students.
In 2007, Oprah Winfrey opened up a boarding school in South Africa. The academy had salons and gyms in it. Allegations have surfaced that this school was a front for child trafficking. These girls would be allegedly groomed to be ready for sale. Oprah handpicked the young girls who attended her school based on physical appearance, but it wasn't long until word got out about what really the school was about. Turns out these young girls were being touched or broken in by one of the employees there to allegedly get them ready for clients. Authorities found out about it and Inappropriate with kids. Turns out at least 6 girls aged 13 to 15 were allegedly systematically and ritualistically targeted. Oprah went on record saying she was going to look at the situation, but after her investigation, the employee was cleared of any wrongdoing, and some allege Oprah had a hand in trying to cover it up. But these incidents continue to rock the school, including a newborn baby being found unalived at the school, which some say was for trafficking.
The matron was later acquitted of these charges in 2010. This incident, among others, has led to criticisms and a tarnishing of the school's reputation.
Maltreatment and abuse happening in Oprah Winfrey's school, and of course her name is connected to it because it's under her leadership. There's been so many suspicious activities happening, but recently there have been reports that girls have been going missing. It's been news on social media, and there hasn't been any concrete evidence, but it has just taken social media by a storm of the missing girls that's been rumored to be coming from Oprah Winfrey's school, and people on social media are demanding that they look for these girls and bring them home. And the major news outlets have not been covering it, so we have not gotten a genuine and honest report on what is going on. However, because of these rumors, there's been other reports bringing up what's been happening in Oprah's school over the years. However, she left the school and the leadership of some administrators who have taken advantage of the girls. So if you don't know, a couple years ago, I think in 2011, there was an administrator who was exposed for essaying, I can't say it on YouTube, but for assaulting young girls. And basically, the report was that these girls were put in vulnerable situations.
In addition to these isolated incidents, various conspiracy theories and allegations have been propagated online, suggesting Oprah's involvement in illicit activities. Allegations have occasionally surfaced accusing Oprah Winfrey of various wrongdoings, including promoting controversial figures and pseudoscientific health advice on her show. Critics argue that her influential platform has sometimes spread misinformation, impacting public perception and health choices.
You're obviously sitting there watching Oprah with her. You know, I have always been super entertained by talk shows. It was like a huge thing in the 90s, and Oprah is a very beloved woman. Everybody knows who she is. But I have seen some things come out about Oprah, and some of them have been extremely disturbing. One of them being that she was friends with Harvey Weinstein and apparently really avoids saying anything against him, which leaves me really suspicious because I feel like even if you were friends with him, when all this stuff came out, you would think that she would like shut it down and share how she feels about him, because there's so many pictures of her with him. And if you guys are unaware, like Oprah went through some really difficult things as a child. She got pregnant at 14 by her uncle.
The school faced another scandal involving inappropriate behavior among students, leading to the suspension of several girls for mistreating their peers.
There was a dead newborn found in a student's bag. And this one was so heartbreaking because there's clearly some things going on at home. There's clearly some things going on at the school where the student did not feel like she could have disclosed this information to anyone. But there was a newborn baby found. And the news report says that on February 11, 2011, so this is a couple years after the first incident of students being sexually assaulted.
Ryan Garcia, the renowned boxer, allegedly exposed Oprah Winfrey for controversial associations and decisions in a recent public statement. He criticized her for endorsing questionable figures and spreading misinformation. This unexpected critique from Garcia has sparked discussions about the responsibility and influence of celebrities in shaping public opinion.
According to Ryan Garcia, he is in possession of the Epstein client list. And guess who's on it? That's right, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah has been allegedly trafficking children out of her school in South Africa, and more recently been snatching children up left and right while she's in Maui. There was allegedly over 1,000 missing kids during the Maui fires in 2023, and Hawaii is a known hotbed for trafficking. Oprah has associated herself with known traffickers in the past like Harvey Weinstein, and some say even helped introduce people to him. Oprah was also linked to a predator who would chain women up and farm babies in an underground bunker to be sold. And some say this is the reason she's out in Maui buying property to harvest babies underground.
Furthermore, during Aishwarya Rai's appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show, there were moments that some perceived as culturally insensitive. Oprah also touched on topics such as arranged marriages and living with parents as adults. Aishwarya clarified that arranged marriages in modern urban India are akin to a dating service facilitated by families, and living with parents is a cultural norm that emphasizes family connections.
but you are a representative of the culture. What in general do they think of American women? Do they say we're rude? No.
Indian people are very hospitable.
Do they say we talk too much?
Opinionated, maybe.
They say we're opinionated. Do they say we get a lot of divorces?
That could be a discussion.
People spend $100 million a year, I read this, on skin lightening products. Is that true?
When you see the matrimonials and you see requests for a fair, when fair comes in, I guess, yeah, that is kind of ingrained that people are happy to have fair daughters. It comes up in the matrimonial and in the marriageable phase, these things do get discussed, which I think is absolutely uncalled for and totally unwarranted. Because I mean in India, we have all skin colors, we have all physical features. We really have the world within India. If you go from the north to the south, the east to the west, we just have them all. We got the small eyes, we got the fair skin, the darker skin, the straight hair, everything. We just have it all in India. So.
Really?
Oprah Winfrey has faced scrutiny and criticism over her associations with controversial figures like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Reports suggest Oprah's involvement in Epstein's illegal activities and visits to his properties.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger. And we were filming some things and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? They said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in.
Moreover, the Oprah Winfrey Show has faced criticism for promoting misleading information, particularly related to health and science. One of the most notable controversies involves the promotion of Dr. Mehmet Oz, whose show, The Dr. Oz Show, was co-produced by Oprah's Harpo Productions. Dr. Oz has been widely criticized for endorsing questionable health products and making unverified medical claims.
So the Oprah Winfrey Show was in general highly criticized for the constant medical and scientific misinformation that was platformed and constantly spewed on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah regularly platformed guests who would be promoting products that were not backed by science and guests who had theories that were also not corroborated with scientific information. In 2007, Oprah Winfrey invited Jenny McCarthy onto the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she would actually partner up with Jenny McCarthy, and Jenny McCarthy was on the Oprah Winfrey Show I think like 12 or 13 times total. He began to be viewed less as a snake oil salesman and some kind of a supernatural healer. Bill Clinton and Naomi Campbell have both been known to be associates of John of God. John of God believed that he could heal people from anything from chronic pain to mental illness. Horrifically, a few years after this interview, it was discovered that John of God was not the man of God who he claimed to be. In fact, John of God had R-worded and SA'd hundreds of young girls.
Notably, in a 1986 interview, Oprah asked the young model to stand up so the audience could look at her body. This moment was later criticized by Crawford herself, who felt objectified and noted that it would not be considered appropriate today.
1986, newly discovered model, now household name, Cindy Crawford, made an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show alongside the founder of Elite Model Management, Don Casablancas, the man who discovered Cindy Crawford. In an uncomfortable moment in this interview, Oprah asked 19-year-old Cindy Crawford to stand up to show off her body to the audience. Cindy agreed reluctantly, but was very obviously extremely uncomfortable.
So did you have to groom her? Did she always have this body? This is unbelievable. Stand up just a moment, because no one saw you come in standing up. Now, this is what I call a bod.
During a memorable episode of her show, Oprah Winfrey unintentionally embarrassed NFL quarterback Drew Brees. As they chatted, Oprah noticed what she thought was a smudge on Brees' face. However, Brees explained that it was actually a birthmark.
This moment felt very exploitative and misogynistic to many viewers. In another odd moment on the Oprah Winfrey Show, NFL quarterback Drew Brees went on to the Oprah Winfrey Show, and while they were live on air, Oprah reached over and tried to wipe something off of his face. What Oprah thought was lipstick on Drew Brees' face, it was actually a birthmark.
Wow, 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 wow! All right, who just kissed you? There's a big open. Wow, it's so wonderful to see you.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.